So it's so funny to make fun of those people, but like, I'm not gonna like cyberbully them and be like, haha, go hang in your closet or something like nothing like that. But that is so funny to call it a disability.
Yeah. I was like,
feel like
that's why I was like, it's just difficulty modifiers. I was like, oh man,
Yeah.
like let's take this to the funniest aspect.
And just that whole debate of difficulty in video games. Games are meant to be for everyone. Like those Soulsborne, Elden Ring, Sekiro, more difficult games. They are for everyone. It's just such a different style that we haven't seen since like the 80s of like actual, okay, this needs to be tight movements. You need to actually be smart with what you're doing. Like, it's not, BS hitboxes or getting pushed off the map, or you just got to learn the movesets. You got to kind of learn how the game plays. There's no in-your-face tutorial where it walks you through everything. But once you play like Dark Souls 1 or Demon Souls or Sekiro, like any one of those titles, and you kind of figure out that first one, you can figure out the rest. It's just that initial getting into it is so much more difficult compared to so many other games we've seen previously in the past 20 years, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It reminds me more of like my old school NES days and SNES days where the game was like, if you can win, good luck.
You can land on.
Yeah. As opposed to like now where it's like, hey, because accessibility means more sales, and the cost of games that have gone up dramatically means that you need to get more sales, and thus that there's a prophecy of ultimately people are frustrated, because that's the other drama that's going on online is Gamergate 2.0, which has been absolutely a blast to see, because it ties back into what we're like media hypocrisy, because at the end of the day, I don't care what you believe. Like, you're welcome to your political beliefs, your beliefs, like that's great. Like, I can still hang out with you. I respect you as a human being. It doesn't matter. But what really gets in my craw is when I see like blatant like ignoring of One Piece. And it's that, listen, if you don't like listen, for those of you who are listening, a list about Sweet Baby Inc., a woke consultant firm giving consulting to video game companies. That's a business. Like, all right, cool. They have every right to be a business. But somebody was like, they published their names. He's tracking all the different games just so that whether if you like Sweet Baby, you can buy their games. If you don't, you can avoid them. Obviously, the intent more is to, hey, just pay attention to these games that people are having problems with. And so then Sweet Baby's like, hey, how about we Streisand affect the hell out of this group and attack him?
I missed this a little bit. Is
Okay.
Sweet Baby like an Embracer group, or who's Sweet
No.
Baby?
So they're just a consultant firm talking about DEI and putting more, DEI in video games and things like that.
Oh my God, are they why Fable looks like why Fable does?
And same thing with other games, right? So there's with Dante, there's a growing level of frustration in that side where it's just
I'm
why
not
is
gonna
this
buy
game?
the game?
Well, same thing with
Like, I'm
Suicide
gonna play
Squad.
something
Suicide
else.
Squad was hugely influenced, and not just maybe by one company, but there's other consulting firms. It's just consulting firms. They sell you advice, and so anyway, they decided to Streisand the effect out of the fuck out of themselves, and attack the guy who made the list, which does you're the bad guy. Like, all of a sudden, you're actively trying to get somebody's Steam library removed. You're actively harassing this guy. All he is like, he's not angry. He's not like, these guys suck. He's just doing a simple, basic thing. But then you see all the media come out, and they conveniently all say the same damn thing, and all conveniently ignored the thing that lit this thing on fire. And I was like, until they apologize, like, I don't care what you believe, but yeah, fuck those guys. And then anybody who's out there defending them, I'm sorry. Like, I don't, we're not gonna, I can't get behind you, because they clearly did a bad thing. They should apologize for it, but they won't. And then they get all their cronies to kind of, surround the wagons, and thus Gamergate 2.0 rages on, and it is fun. Like, it is a good form of entertainment that is not politically assassinate.
Let's just look at the sales next year. I think Fable's going to be low. I think Suicide Squad's never going to recover. They're just not making fun games, and like, I feel the same way with movies and video games. It's a fantasy. I want the guy that's 6'5" and has biceps the size of my legs. Like, I want the hot shit. Like, everyone should be beautiful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just
Yeah,
make
bro,
it
that was
fun
why I
to
loved
play and look
Cyberpunk.
at.
That's why I
Yeah,
love
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk 2077, bro. I was a chick with a dick, and I was so good at it. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was
Like
so
I
good at
crushed
it, dude.
this.
It was just an emulation of my real life,
You
you
get
know. That's why I'm
the,
working on growing these titties out. But
There it is. Hey,
Get the real
donuts,
physics
ice
mod.
cream, that can help.
hey, and I was gonna tell you all this too. This was really exciting for me. I was hanging out with Atharva on the 11th
Yeah.
this month, so just a few days ago, and he was opening for Cam Patterson. And I was
Yes.
taking pictures. I was taking pictures for him. I was recording for him, and I got to go into the green room with him and Cam. And Cam was playing a Nintendo Switch,
Hell
and
yeah.
I was standing in the green room with him, which I found out was kind of I shouldn't have been there, but I was there anyways, and it was so fun.
Don't ask
but
for
we were-
permission. Always just ask for forgiveness.
Oh yeah,
It's like,
no, and then you know it. But anyways, I was in there, and Cam apparently had just gotten the Switch, and he looked up in this room of so many people in the smallest green room at Addison, and he's like, "Who here knows about Nintendo Switches?" And I said, "Probably me. I look the closest like I work at Geek Squad at Best Buy." And everyone started laughing really hard, and I was like, "Bro, hell yeah!" And then he was like, "Come here, come sit down." I sat down next to him, and he was showing me he had Cuphead downloaded. He's like, "How do I get to the store? I want more games." He was on like the NES Online part.
yeah.
I brought him to the shop, and then he was like, "What games do you like?" And I was like, "Damn, bro, am I really about to give Cam Patterson like a
Hey,
game
dude.
advice?" It was great.